you hoped.
Well, good evening. It's that time again. Time for the Rat's Net on UHF, and then over here on the MRA is the New Hams Net. Not sure if this is a first Wednesday of the month meeting night. I'm not a club member, so I don't know. That might determine the amount of participation for either net tonight, which sometimes does not hinder it much, but again, we'll see about that. Of course, Bruce will probably be net control for the New Hams net, or it might be assigned to someone else who's a New Ham. More than likely, it's going to be Rob on the Rats UHF net, which is fine because he's a pretty good net control operator. It's awful broad, but you know that's just the nature of the radio, I think. Not mine, but you know we've seen this before. So we got a little precipitation coming in tonight. I think it's just a little bit of rain. We've had some snow here off and on. Good coating Friday, not so good Monday. I think it was more enjoyable on Friday than it was Monday, but I don't think it lasted as long either on Monday. Pretty frigid, but that's the nature of that beast too. I'm sure a lot of you folks out there get it a whole lot worse than we do, but we're in a hole in the valley. For us, that makes the difference. And there he is. Squelch, please. There we go. Isn't that fun? Where are we at here? Ta-da! Where are you going?
And my call sign is Kilo Bravo 2, Oscar Yankee India, KB2OYI. I'll be your next show operator for this evening's net. Before we begin, starting station on frequency having any emergency or priority traffic, if so, please call now.
So I wonder if he is allocated to being the only net control operator for the club.
Anytime anybody does have any emergency traffic, just please call break, and the net will yield for your traffic. Once again, we meet here Wednesday nights and encourage check-ins regardless of your location, affiliation, or license class. All projects and amateurs are always invited to participate. And the purpose of that is general fellowship within the ham radio community, bring awareness to any radio events happening in the area, as well as Rats Club specific items. Should you have any questions related to ham radio, you can ask them during your comments. Perhaps someone knows the answer. Or you can email helpdesk@rats.net, and your message will be sent to the Rats Elmers group, which will respond and find you the help you need. You do not need to be a member of Rats to use the service, and that email address again is helpdesk@rats.net. And checking in, please give your call sign and first name. To be recognized by an next roll operator, please say if you have any announcements or traffic set. We handle traffic first, then informal comments after that. It's nice to be Hanover Radio Club's monthly meeting, so maybe some folks might be at that. So we'll see what kind of group we have. I'll go ahead and get the list started, and then I'll make a quick announcement, and then we'll get to folks' comments. So let's start with the mobile portable stations wishing to check in. Mobile portable stations, please call out.
Somebody is in a hurry tonight.
This is Kilo Delta 4, India Romeo Bravo. I get to Hanover, no traffic.
Oh, you're not going to try tonight? Come on. Come on, Mike.
Recognize KD4IRB. Mike, please stand by. Let's go ahead and expand the list to all check-ins, general check-ins. Anybody wishing to check into the Rats Net, please call now. This is Kilo 4 November Alpha Golf. Thank you, Bill. This is Kilo 4 Oscar with the uniform, Chevy Glen Allen. OW, once again, this is KB2, OYI with the Rats Net. If there's any stations out there wishing to check in and join us, please call now.
Yeah, might be a thin net tonight.
Kilo, Romeo, 4, Hotel, Victor, Kimberly, Virginia. Oh, that'd be fast. Hotel Victor station. Please stand by. All right. Wow. I don't know where everyone is. I know they said 23 new people were getting voted into the Hanover Club today. I guess I wonder if that was everybody who usually checks in for an app.
Yes.
All right. My quick announcement is in regards to next Wednesday night.
Amtrak's
Tonight
leaving
is
the
the
station.
Rats Club's holiday dinner, Christmas dinner. And I know the posts and the emails had gone out. The RSVPs for that were due by December 2nd. But regardless, because of the club events and the attendance there, we will forego a next Wednesday. So there will be no formal net next Wednesday night. However, feel free to meet up on the repeater, maybe have a little casual ragchew yourself. Repeater's here, it's not going anywhere, and you might as well use it. So once again, we will not have a net this Wednesday night. I'll go ahead and announce that again. Conclusion of net, if any other folks come join us. Fine, KB4ILD.
I thought there was a double there.
Double there. Maybe it's signed up repeater. But go ahead with your comments. Let me know what is you heard from my last transmission. Go ahead, Mike.
KD4ILD, I don't know. I doubled. I was okay. I normally wait for a couple of seconds before I see the transmitter. What I say is everything is fine in here. The snow is most of them gone. And it's going to be another chilly day or chilly night. Catching up our normal house evening work, dishwashing and everything else in the summer. I don't stop at the radio club meeting tonight. Feel a little bit lousy, and I don't really like to drive too much and have a good evening to everyone, and hopefully we'll be around next week. Before IRB.
Checking in. You have yourself a fine evening there. We'll catch you again another time. All right, so clear with Mike. Let's go to Nick, K4NHC. Nick, did my transmission go through about the announcement for next week?
Nick here. Yeah, your transmission was like 100% readable on my end. There was a little bit of noise in the background, and then when you stopped transmitting, I heard the tail end of Mike, and I figured that's what was causing the background noise. But I got yours 100%. I didn't get any of Mike's at all until you called on him. But yeah, other than that, you're doing well. Thanks for reminding me about the Christmas dinner. So what you get for failing to plan is I forgot to submit my thing, so I'm still gonna show up and I won't grab any of the food, but I'll say hi to everybody. Other than that, we had a really eventful weekend. This seems to be the busiest time of year for me, and haven't had a lot of chance to play radio, unfortunately. Had my wife's 40th birthday. That was on Saturday, and it was a great party, great turnout. Everyone had a great time. Ended a little bit earlier than I thought, but I guess that it happens with this time of year. We were really worried about turnout and attendance with the snow that we got on Friday and Monday. I was actually quite surprised when I woke up on Monday and was wondering, what's all this white stuff coming out of the sky? I thought we were going to be far south of the snow. High. But other than that, it's going to be a good week. Looking forward to it. Glad it's Wednesday. And looking forward to seeing everybody at the dinner. K4NAG, stay 73 from now, and I'll turn it back over to next control. Thanks, Ron.
Probably shouldn't have given her age over the air like that. She's going to find out, you know.
And yeah, we'll have to catch up and find out a little bit more about the birthday event there. woke up at 3 in the morning and drove into work on Tuesday, and I was the only idiot who showed up. So guess who got to brew beer all by himself? KB2OII, that's who. That was awesome. Either way, the week is coming to an end. Looking forward to Saturday. I'm having some buddies of mine get together. We'll watch the Army-Navy game every year. And, probably be a beer each consumed. So we'll catch up soon, maybe on the radio over the weekend. That's definitely next Wednesday night.
Working is the only way to get paid, you know.
If there's anybody else who just joined us, I will do another check-in. But I just want to remind everybody that next Wednesday night is the Rats Club holiday dinner. So we will not have a formal net next Wednesday night. So again, feel free to use the repeater, have a little ragchew amongst yourselves if you want to. And we'll catch everybody the following Wednesday. So folks on the list, please stand by. This is KB2OI of the Rats Net. Anyone wishing to join us, please call now.
Thought we were supposed to call Rob. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe he means call Rob now.
We'll continue. Let's go next to KK4OW Chevy. Chevy, your comments for the net, guys. Yes, KK4OW. Chevy here in Glen Allen. Thanks for doing the net tonight, Rob. You know it was a little quiet. Not too much going on. Getting ready for Christmas. And both my son-in-law and daughter-in-law were out of town on business. So good old grandpa fixed meals and took them over and keep fed. And my daughter-in-law's there with, my daughter's there with her infant, and I want to make sure that they were good. They are, and so everything's looking good. Looking forward to the holidays. Yeah, sounding good, Rob. Thanks for doing that. KK4OWU.
Well, he sounds like Rob. Can't doubt that for 1 minute.
Checking in there. Enjoy the grandpa time, and we'll catch you again down the line. We'll clear Chevy. Next we'll go to KF4HBV. It didn't catch the first name, but your comments for that. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead, sir. 4HBV.
Yeah, thanks. Happy, but you're doing a great job. Just want to check in. I think we've got a kid race to do. Okay, well, I think I heard y'all talking. Figured I'd jump in and say hi.
Appreciate you joining us here. We run this every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. However, not next Wednesday night.
Nice cover.
We encourage you to join us every week. It's always a good group. Usually a lot larger. Again, maybe some folks are at the Hanover Club meeting. Maybe some folks are just watching snow melt out the window. I don't know. It's a good net, good group of folks here who usually join us. Again, the representation's a little late tonight, but it's okay. We'll give them a pass.
Don't be sour. Come on.
Once again, this is KB2OI of the Rats Net. Anyone wishing to join us, please call now.
Busiest month out of the year. Holiday season's kind of rough. You end this net quick enough.
The lowest turnout we've had in a while, so I don't know. Maybe some folks are getting tired of me. We'll have to get the folks in here on net control in the next couple of weeks. But either way, if anyone is listening, I do plan on running a net on Christmas Eve. And Christmas Eve it is on a Wednesday. I know I did the net last year on Christmas Day evening with Wayne Kane on WVU. So I will be on air to host the net on Christmas Eve in case anyone does want to come say hi on Christmas Eve. I'll definitely be here.
We should support that. We should really support that.
Again, no net next week. We'll join it back in 2 weeks here or either over the weekend or whatever. This time we'll go ahead and close the net down, return to repeater regular amateur radio usage. And again, this is KB2OII saying 73, and I'll be clear.
Wow, we've gotten away from the closure, haven't we? Interesting. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. We're taking next week. I was going to say weekend. We're taking the next week off, of course, as he said, but you can make up for it on Christmas Eve. Ugh. Really? No, that means they're good, I think.
Patient contact on scene, West Great Street, North Madison, with our PD. Vehicle crash with one grand patient. Take 12 hours.
I think that's the condition of the patient as they pulled them out of the incident. They may have had to extricate. I don't know. I'm no expert, but I do love to listen. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and change this over to the MRA for giggles, and we'll see how that one looks on the. It's not really a. I guess it could be a spectrum analyzer. It says spectrum right there on the right, but I like to use it to look at the signals, especially here in this territory just outside of downtown Richmond. There's so much noise down here, and it's kind of a crammed spectrum anyways as far as the repeaters go in the amateur spectrum. If you've been as observant as I have been, they kind of pop up with other analog or even digital repeaters, and it almost blanks out the SDR, but more natures of more beasts, I guess. But it sure is fun to watch. To me, it is, anyways. I don't know how many of you have the experience with these things. I know a lot of you out there that do this on HF, and that's pretty neat too. I've seen many different ways to do that, and I think it's quite helpful at just about any station. Even if you're just listening to other services, it's neat to watch, and it gives you a little bit more. What do you call it? What's the word? It's a little more to listening. It's advantageous, I think. But enough of the big words. We're gonna wait. There it is.
This is W4BRU. Danger is Bruce. Hiccup, as you can tell. And this is the beginning of the weekly New Ham's Nest on the 14543 repeater.
You must be.
We appreciate the Metropolitan Repeater Association letting us use the repeater for this net. What we will do is go through the have you each check in, give me your name and call sign. I'll write it down and acknowledge it, and we'll go on to the next one. And then we'll start making rounds in between my hiccups. So we'll go from there. Anyway, this is Whiskey 4 Bravo Rubber Uniform. Anybody want to check in? I'll listen for your name now. Over. This is Alpha Bravo 2, Oscar Echo. Bob and Ultra.
That might be a mistake.
Hey, Bob, good to hear you. Next.
Delta Echo Alpha November in Verina.
Shame on you, ladies first.
Good evening, Nora. Somebody else is trying to talk at the same time you were. I heard the noise, but I didn't hear who the person was. You overwhelmed it, so let me stop and let that person come in again. This is W4BRU.
Thought you guys knew that by now.
This is
Chivalry is not dead.
Kilo Alpha Alpha Dean Delta Echo Alpha November in Verina.
Hello, Dean. And somebody else stepped on you, but I got you through okay. Good. Welcome in. Next.
Uh-oh.
This is full circle.
I think it was Kathy with Chevy.
Okay. Anybody else want to join the new Ham's Nest? This is W4BRU. BRU, net control for the evening.
This is. This is. Kilo 4, Oscar Whiskey Uniform, Chevy.
Come on, guys. Ladies first.
Hey, Chevy, good to hear you.
No matter how long it takes.
Next.
There we go. Thanks, guys.
And I bet that's Kathleen. Good to hear you. It's been a while since we've heard you on this. So welcome to the net.
Come on, girls. Check in. Don't miss out on this opportunity.
All right, we'll wait for a couple more seconds, see if somebody else comes in, and then we'll go down to the W4. With the hiccups, this is W4 BRU. Actually portable in my case, and it's a 543 repeater for the weekly New Hampshire net. So listen for anybody else. Over.
Anybody else?
Okay, AB2OE. Bob, would you have something for us for the evening? Over.
Well, he does have the hiccups, doesn't he?
Good evening, everybody. And good evening, Bruce. Yep, good to hear everybody. Bruce, I think you need a hiccups timeout timer. Some kind of timer that you can time the interval between hiccups, and then you can unkey just in time. Yep, there were a couple of doubles who I'm not sure if we picked up or not. In between Chevy and Kathleen, I thought I heard two others, but I could be wrong. Anyway, nothing new to report here. The snow is slowly ending up in the James River, and for that I am grateful. Back to net, Alpha Bravo 2, Oscar X.
Sure is pretty, though. We don't get it that much around here.
Yep, it's heading for the James. And I think I got the folks who were doubling, Bob, but we'll see as you open it up again for talk about it. All right, N4POZ. Nora, what you got for us?
Hi, Bruce and everybody. So glad to be here. This is my day and time to connect with everybody as a group. I'm having a really great time during the week, just contacting 1, 2, or 3 at a time, and learning a little bit at a time. So everybody that answers my QSO, I really appreciate that you're part of my learning experience. Over to you, Bruce.
Very good. Well, I think it's your turn, Chevy. KK4OWU, W4BRU.
Yes, KK4OW, Chevy. Thanks for doing that, Bruce. Not too much going on. Been getting ready for Christmas. Have all the decorations and trees and lights up. And my son-in-law is out of town this week on business, and so I took dinner over to my daughter and their 1-year-old. And other than that, I'm just trying to behave myself. Make sure Santa Claus comes by. That's good, everybody. Thanks for doing that. KK4OWU.
Doesn't usually visit me, so I'm not worried about behaving or not. But anyway, I'm good with that. Well, Kathleen, it's good to hear you. K5HTZ. Haven't seen you, heard you for a while. So how have you been? Over.
Hiya, Bruce and everybody. K5HTZ here. I've been doing really well. Our theater pipe organ moved on to its next home, a residence in the Catskills, New York. Pretty exciting. And so there's been lots of new flooring going on and plumbing and everything's happening. So that's where I've been. But I've missed you all and I'm glad to be back.
Yes, having seen where your father had all of his pipes and plumbing and everything else going in, I can imagine that's quite a rebuild of that interior of the house after that. But I'm glad it's going to a good home where it'll be enjoyed. He certainly enjoyed it.
1604 Columbia Street, engine 21, chest, pain. 1604 Columbia Street.
So I have been spending my time. I'm in a new radio room. I'm having to move stuff out of the old room, which is a much smaller room, and I'm stacking vertically. So I'm having to change all the containers I have my parts in, and my parts bins and everything else. And so it's work that I hate to do. But what's motivating me is the kids are coming around the 22nd or something like that, and I got to have that other room pretty well cleared out by the time they can get here. So I grumble and moan about it, but I get at it every day, and I'm making progress on it. So looking here at the room, I got a lot of the stuff in its place. So anyway, that's my story. AB2OE, Bob. What else you got?
Just working hard, trying to get to Thursday. Thursday is always my Friday. Oh, and there is somebody I think we left out of rotation here, Bruce. There was someone named Dean from Verina. So you might want to give him a chance to get a
Evil.
You're right, I see it here, and I've got it marked. Okay, Dean, sorry to leave you out. K4RAA, W4BRU.
Somebody got left out and missed it.
Hey, everybody on the net. I was practicing my ninja skills, trying to be unseen, unheard, unknown, mysterious, that sort of thing.
It didn't work.
But no, I appreciate the catch. I've just been doing a little bit of radio here and there, not a whole lot. Been more today, the last couple of days, trying to work on my bees. I started keeping honeybees this year, and I've got to get them ready for the winter. So today was spent mixing sugar and trying to make what we call, or what's called sugar cakes or candy boards.
Candy what?
But anyway, don't want to take up too much time. Got a lot of folks to check in, and I appreciate it coming back to me. 73, and back to that. K4RAA.
Bee Ninja. Honey Ninja. What's the buzz?
Well, in the next rotation, Dean, you'll tell us more about what you have to do to prepare for the winter. I would think it'd be kind of tough on them, but I'm sure you could tell me. Okay, N4POZ, Nora, W4BRU.
Thanks, Bob, to bring Dean into attention, because it's interesting to see. And Dean, you might want to know a fellow ham of us, Mike, that he also has bees, and maybe Bruce can tell you more about it. And so it will be interesting if both of you can. He's not here today. I don't think so. He was in this net last week. Anyway, I'm glad to be here and to hear everybody. And so I'm back to you, Bruce. Over.
Well, I'm going to give Mike a call here. Hang on just a second, see if I get him.
You gonna call him on the phone? I thought he was an amateur. Oh, he might not be listening. How strange. It's a net in your area. You should be listening. At least that's part of the fun. Another part is actually participating, but you know me, not unless it's absolutely necessary. Of course, it's polite to not comment if you don't have an actual comment to add to the conversation, which is most of my comments, which is why they're here and not on the ear. Sometimes they're just inappropriate for the MRA.
Call Mike to remind him, and he is doing some power work on his radio room, and so he doesn't have power. But then he realized, he can get on with the handheld. So I guess he's going to try and do that. Anyway, let's see. We ended with Nora, and so Dean, I think it's your turn again. Can you tell us more about the honeybees, Nora?
he didn't realize, or he just hasn't known whether or not he could get in portable?
All right, back to me. I feel like I'm in the honored position here, so thank you for that. Anyway, I'm new to this, so I'm still learning. When I started back in January, they said they had a 4-day class. The Richmond Beekeepers Association has a 4-day class that you take. And I thought, what am I going to learn in 4 days? They're just bees. And I realized that there is so much about these things, trying to make sure you keep them healthy and safe, and do what you can to collect the honey at the right time. And as far as getting them through the winter, there's a few things, like you said. Winter is hard on them, so I'm going to take a break. All right, K4RAA back. And one of the things is that everything slows down. They stop really producing a lot of extra bodies. They don't have a lot of brood hatching. They minimize that. A lot of times they get rid of the drones, the males, because they're bigger and eat more. So there's actually a time where the ladies all the workers will pick up the guys and take them outside and throw them out. And if the guys try to get back in and don't get the hint, they get stung and killed.
What a world!
It's sad, but it's kind of amusing to watch when it's on video. But the guys eat a lot and don't contribute much. So, and you ladies out there, I don't need to make side remarks about me eating a lot this season. Anyway, on this next go around, I'll tell you about the food.
It's kind of morbid.
K4RAA. I'm trying to keep an eye on not timing out this thing. Anyway, to help supplement the honey and other food that they would take, and the food that you take from them when you harvest the honey, a lot of times you'll feed them sugar water during the spring and the fall, summer. In the winter time, you make a cake out of just basically it's sugar, granulated sugar, with some water so that as it dries out, it'll harden. And you put in it some extra nutrients and oils that make it smell good for the bees. And it gives them the extra nutrients, as well as, there's a pollen cake that you can buy. It's like a thin wafer of pollen. Don't tell me how they make it, I don't know. But pollen is their protein, sugar is their carbs, and between the two, you let them get as much of it as they can. And on this next break, I'll talk about the cold. All right, K4RA, I think we're on the last go here, so I'm sorry to keep everybody awake, but because it's cold over the winter, you want to minimize the draft, so you close up a lot of the draft holes and minimize the airflow, but you still need some airflow because you don't want moisture to build up in the hive. So you limit the spacing, and then the bees themselves will congregate together and mass up together to keep themselves warm, and they do a really good job doing that. But they need the nutrition, they need the calories and everything to keep things going. So hopefully they've stored enough on their own, but if they haven't, providing the extra sugar and the pollen cake for them helps get them through. And hopefully I've done everything I can to minimize the parasites that affect them, and they'll come out in the spring, and I'll be able to work the hives again next year. But they say you generally lose about a third of the hives. A good beekeeper will lose about a third of their hives over the winter, and you don't really consider yourself a true beekeeper until you've made it through 2 winters. So this is my first one, so I'm still learning. K4RAA, back to that, and thank you everybody for putting up with that one. I hope it was interesting.
It was very interesting information. Thanks.
Well, it was for me. I can't speak for the rest of the stuff for you. That's quite a hobby. Well, Chevy, KK4OWHQ. Now it's your turn to follow that one up. Over.
KK4 K4OW. That'd be a tough one to follow up. That's very interesting. I thought about doing that, but never got around to it. But very interesting. Other than that, not too much going on. Still working on odds and ends as far as Christmas and get some presents for the grandchildren and my kiddos and that type of thing. But that's about all I got for tonight. Thank you for doing that. 73s, everybody. KK4OW.
Well, I'm moving on to Kathleen, I guess, because she's got all these stories about the organ coming out of her house in Pocono. You want to tell a large part of that story? Over.
Oh my goodness, I could talk for days and days and days about the organ move and this fascinating man who came to move the organ, who, like, I've never met anybody like this person. But most similar was my father, so I'm glad the organ went to him. But what I do know about is fruitcake. I'll pause.
Fruitcake? We're going to talk about fruitcake?
I'm interested in taking a survey about who likes fruitcake. Because remember, people used to make fun of fruitcake, and they would all pass fruitcake around, but nobody ever ate the fruitcake. And I think it's time to bring fruitcake back, which is why I'm giving everyone fruitcake this year. But I'm interested to hear your opinions on fruitcake.
Well, when we mix it around, we can comment about fruitcake. At this point, let me stop for a second and see if anybody else would like to join the net at this point. This is the before BRU. My name is Bruce, and this is the New Hampstead on the MRA repeater. For RKO, Mike, good to hear you. And I think you might have heard K4RAA, who is also a beekeeper. So when we make the rounds again, you can kind of talk a little bit more about your experience in beekeeping. In fact, you can do that now if you want. Over.
Well, it's definitely going down the right path. Sounds knowledgeable. I've been beekeeping for a while now. And I've got, actually, a couple of days ago, I got 6 new hives that just showed up, which I put together in the spring. It's been a great hobby. I really enjoyed it. You get the honey and whatnot. It's been a lot of fun. And you're quite correct about what to do in the wintertime to keep it from all perishing. It's just amazing to watch the females tossing the males out the little side shoes on it. That's the way it goes. And fruitcake, I love fruitcake. It's one of my favorite cakes of all time. My grandmother used to make them in her home and give them away for Christmas presents, and I always got a couple of them. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Bruce.
I can never remember a good experience with fruitcake, but maybe it's just me.
Very good. Well, since I'm the one that brings up the rear, so to speak, I'll say that I've had fruitcakes I like. A lot of them I didn't like. So
Right.
I think maybe if it's got too much whiskey or something in it, I really don't like the flavor. But otherwise, I think it's probably pretty good. So anyway, that's that big round. We'll take it back to you, Bob, for you to participate in the fruitcake survey and fruitcake survey and figure out whatever else you have to add. Over.
Okay, let me see if I have it here because I had a little problem. Yeah, good. Hit the wrong button on my mic and changed the channel. Well, I grew up in the 60s, and there was a period of time in the 60s where fruitcake was pretty popular, but at that time, all the department stores started cranking out some of the blandest fruitcake you could possibly find. But so I'm going to answer your question, Kathleen. I'm not opposed to fruitcake at all, and I'm definitely not opposed to fruitcake if it involves rum. So that's my take on that. Let me just pause for a second. And I was wondering, Nora, if I know that you got an HF rig, and you were talking about making a lot of contacts this week, so I was wondering if you were doing any HF so you can enter that the next go around. And Dean, I found it very interesting. There's a guy who I used to watch all the time on YouTube. His name was Mr. Ed, the beekeeper, and he's from Louisiana. He works on the grounds of a large Franciscan monastery, and they have a massive. He goes and pulls bees out of people's walls and floors and stuff, and they have a massive honey making and waxing operation. So it's really interesting to me. Anyway, hello to Mike joined K4RKO, so hello to you, Mike, and back to Ned, Alpha Bravo 2 Oscar X.
Well, that's great. Yeah, that's so. The cake survey is moving along. Let's see, but we're going to number 2, which is Nora, who can give us her part of the fruit cake survey.
This is N for POC, and this is one of the most funny and magical, I would say, nets I've been. I just love all the stories, I do have a story with fruitcake because that is what we do in Argentina. If you go to any Christmas party, you will have or either champagne or cider and fruitcake. Fruitcake is a symbol of Christmas, and it's anyway. I love that, and I hope that you can bring it Friday to the board meeting. And let me break or get a Nicholas. Debbie says. I'm also really happy that Mike is here and that Mike is here. Oh, what? I don't know. There's an echo here.
Well, it's not because of my station, because you can't hear that.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Okay. So, because now I've been wanting to learn a little bit about what Mike has done, and I've seen his bee, and it's just very interesting. And Dean, I wish that you would come to the McDonald's boring meeting on Thursday morning. And hopefully you can make it to the club board meeting on Friday. It is the last one of the year, and it's going to be a lot of socializing, and I hope that Kathleen will bring the fruitcake there. Back to you, Bruce.
Thank you, Nora. For POZ, very good, very good. We're kind of getting cranked up here. So, Dean, you really gave us a long explanation that got us kind of going. So, K4RAA, Dean, over to you, over.
I forget some of these folks are on Zello, so that's probably where her echo is coming from.
Hey, I guess it's any news, anything when you learn something new for the first time, it does sound interesting. I guess being involved in it now, I forget how fascinated I was when I first started learning all this. So I understand where you're coming from. The Mr. Ed, the beekeeper, yeah, we have folks in this area that the police departments or the wildlife services know if there's a swarm that these people will come and collect it. Yeah, you'd be surprised the number of people that have a lot of hives. My mentor has 30 hives, and it's a serious part-time job for her. But I know a few folks that have over 100 hives, and I've worked with somebody at the state fair at the honey booth, and he has, I want to say it's near to 1,000 hives. But he works those are full-time jobs for those folks.
No doubt.
Kind of like that Mr. Ed, as far as collecting the wax and the honey and distributing it, giving it to or selling it to restaurants and meaderies in the area. So it's a big industry out here.
It said Zello earlier, but they're on Zoom as they work their way through this as new hams. And I think he just timed out the repeater. Probably still talking his way through his the little spiel there. And there's probably a half dozen people trying to key the repeater right now. Please don't do that. You're just adding to the problem. It needs to reset. And we'll probably hear from Brewer or somebody reminding us about the 90-second timer on the repeater. You timed it out.
I think I timed out the repeater. I was asking you whether Ronnie Bolden, who's a well-known ham, was one of your instructors in school.
We know who timed out the repeater. It wasn't Bruce.
Roger that. No, the main instructor, I'm going to have to look him up. Julie is my, Julie from Mechanicsville is my mentor. We had several instructors, but he doesn't sound familiar to me. We did have somebody come in from the state, and that may be the gentleman you're talking about. I can't remember his name, but I can't place the name in the face, I'm afraid.
Ronnie's a very active ham up in Hanover County, and I know he was involved in the school. All right, Chevy, KK4OWU, W4BRU.
Hold your breath for 20 seconds.
KK4OWU, Chevy. Well, my experience with fruitcake was when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, and back then it was basically store-bought and normally mass-produced ahead of time and pretty stale. But I do know culinary line progresses and fresh fruitcake, and there's tons of recipes out there now, and it's supposed to be really, really good, especially the homemade fruitcake.
Supposed to be.
But I haven't experienced that and haven't tried any since I was in elementary school. KK4OWU, back to net control.
Same. It's been a long time since I've had a piece.
Okay, thanks, Chevy. Okay, so I think we have for you, Kathleen, something of a survey. So K5HCZ, W4BRU.
Very, very good. Thank you all very much for the help. You should know that this particular recipe is my great-grandma's, and so I figured no one would dare tell me that it was terrible, even though people sometimes say that they think it. And I think it came out pretty good. It's just a little heavy on the rum, and we had to soak the cherries in some wine overnight. But if you get past that, it's good stuff. So, if there's any left over, I'll bring it to the meeting. It's going fast. And I'll be over and out because I got to take Judy here to bed. But
Excuse
I'm very
me?
interested in the bees, and it's so good to hear from you all. And good evening. K5HTC over.
Certain things shouldn't be said on the MRA. Maraschino cherries are already soaked.
Okay, I'm looking at Junie on the Zoom, so we'll say goodnight to Junie, and we'll move on. And 73 to you, we'll move on to Mike K4RKO, W4BRU.
Whoops.
RKO, wrong button there. It's a very nice group of folks you have here tonight. And kind of wish I had a little piece of fruitcake right now. But the bees are a whole lot of fun to watch. They produce really nice honey. It's further away you are from right here for some reason. It's a very nice place. Yeah, I moved my station around and took it apart and repositioned some stuff. Taking two hardest parts were moving one of the power supplies, which weighs up to 180 pounds, and put both of those in racks, and then the other piecey parts all together, and hopefully tomorrow, the next day, I'll be back on HF again. It's been a little bit of a while since it was only a couple of weeks at least. So I'm looking forward to that. And but this is really a neat net. I like it. And it's hopefully we'll continue
Well, that's up to you, buddy.
Well, thank you, Mike. Well, I normally would do one last round, but we've kind of expired our time that we kind of the MRA has agreed to give us. So let me say 73 to everybody, and thank you for being on the net. We had 7 of us, which isn't bad at all, and we learned some stuff about both about fruitcake and about bees. So that part was fun. So you all have a good night, and we'll close out this net. Thanks to the MRA for a chance to use this repeater, and I'll turn the repeater over to Noel Ham use. Good evening, 73.
So you're restricted to 45 minutes?
73, everyone. CB208.
Interesting. Must be the holiday season. It's got everybody kind of jolly. You know, I hope you've found some interest in this particular net. Seems like it's fairly popular. There were 7 check-ins, but I'm sure there's a whole lot more listening to this. Hopefully, a lot of you are watching this on the YouTube channel. Find some interest in what's going on. Maybe you can get some ideas for your own nets and have some regular participation in your area wherever you are. Don't leave out the HF contacts and enjoy yourself.
W4BRU, K4RAA.
I think he's probably gone, but let's find out.
W4RAA, W4BRU.
What's wrong? He's usually out and clear.
Hey, I think I misheard you. I thought you said something about somebody named Bull, but then I heard you say Ron or Ronnie. Are you talking about Ron Stillwell? Was that the name you were given regarding the honeybee keeper?
Stillwell, honey.
No, it's Ronnie Bolton, something like W4 something U, a very short call sign.
Is it honey or baby? It's been a while since I've seen that movie.
All right, yeah, disregard. I do not recognize that name, but one of the main teachers was a man named Ron or Ronnie Stillwell. So I thought maybe I misheard you. Anyway, thanks for running the net, 73 brother, and I'll hear you out there on the radio. K4RAA, I'll be clear.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose.
W4RAA 73, W4BRU.
Give that guy a break. He's got the hiccups. All right, we're going to cut it here. Appreciate you joining us. See you again next time. There should be a net tomorrow night, Thursday. Yes, once again on the MRA for the regular Metro Richmond Aries net, as they call it. So hope to join you there. Catch you soon. If you're in the area, just call out. This is William, K4ARX, and you're watching the American Radio X-Ray.